So one of the most common frustrations that I hear family caregivers struggling with is when their aging parent just absolutely refuses any help, or they refuse to make any changes in their living condition that you absolutely know is going to help them live longer and safer. So what is an adult kid supposed to do? If your parent has been resistant to change, then this video just might be what you need to hear today. I'm going to talk about 4 important areas that you need to consider when your parent is resistant to your suggestions. Hi there, I'm Sofia. Welcome to another episode. I make weekly videos to help family caregivers navigate the resources, the options, and all the ups and downs that go along with aging parent care. I want the very best outcomes for both you and your parent, so go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. I am not in my normal office today, but I had to get this video out to you, so please forgive this really bad lighting in here. My parent won't let a caregiver in to help. They won't downsize. They keep falling and they won't get any help. They won't move to an assisted living. They won't stop driving. They won't let me help them clean up their house. They won't let me help them manage their money. These things and so many other situations like them can just make you so crazy when all you want to do is help your parent and make sure they're safe. So what are you supposed to do about it? Well, my first level of advice would be to take the focus off of them for a minute and instead turn it around and look at you. How are you going about trying to get them to change? Do you find yourself saying things like, "You have to do this. I can't believe you're living like this. You're going to die if you keep doing this. You're going to kill somebody if you keep doing this"? Does it become an argument every single time you bring up the subject of change or getting help? It doesn't have to be this way. Of course it does. No one likes to feel attacked for their decisions. And this might just be what your parent is feeling like when you come on too strong. Instead of saying, you have to do this, try to focus on saying, I worry about you. I want you to be safe. I want you to live here as long as possible. How can I help you do that? I want to help you come up with a plan. Dad, I see you struggling. Can we talk about it? And then you have to just sit back and listen to their response. What is their resistance? What are they worried about? Are they worried about the finances? Are they worried about a loss of independence? Or do they think it's too much work to try to move? Help them figure out what it is their concern is and work on the concern. And if they still dig their heels in and won't even talk to you, then the next thing to consider is calling in a professional. And I often see families wait too long. They wait until the situation is so out of control and unsafe before they call in someone. Don't forget that you can call in a professional early on, so you never get to that point down the road when there is a situation that is just really bad and in crisis. Because you know what, sometimes your parent, they might not want to listen to what you have to say, because often in their eyes, you're just their kid. But they'll often hear the same exact thing and accept it from someone else. So consider calling your local area agency on aging and ask them if they have someone who could come out and speak to your parent and do an assessment. You could also hire a professional geriatric case manager or someone to come in and do an assessment and talk to your parent. I do provide this service virtually, so you can get more information if you want at sofiaamirpoor.com. You could even talk to your parents' doctors about your concerns and see if they will bring up the topic with your parent. I don't know about your parent, but my dad is from a generation that has great respect for their doctor, and he'll do absolutely anything the doctor says. And in fact, I have said, "Dad, you don't have to do that." And he will tell me, "I absolutely have to. It's doctor's orders." So it couldn't hurt to try to talk to your parent's doctor. And for really severe cases, if you think that your parent is highly at risk, then you can always call Adult Protective Services. But a lot of people really don't know that Adult Protective Services is a voluntary program. Your parent has to agree to let them in the house. They have to agree to talk to them and agree to their services. It's not like Children's Protective Services where the workers can go in and pull a child out of the house out of a bad situation. Adult Protective Services doesn't work that way. They don't have the legal authority to do anything that your parent doesn't want them to do. However, they are another professional who can come in and do an assessment and sit down and talk to your parent about their options and recommendations. If your parent is a hoarder, this is a very sensitive situation, and it's not as easy as just getting rid of things, which is often what the family members want to do. It's often a deep emotional, psychological condition, and it really takes a level of expertise. So for information, support, and referrals in your area, you can go to www.hoarders.com. If your parent's home is a health hazard somehow, like if they have a rodent infestation or severe mold or animal feces all over the place, and they won't accept any help, consider calling the health department. They might be able to intervene in these really severe environmental health situations. Third, if you have provided empathy and concern until you're blue in the face and your parent still doesn't want to accept help or make any changes, then the third point is just about the hardest thing for adult children to realize and accept. And that is that you just might not be able to make them make a change. Unless your parent has been deemed incompetent by a judge in the court, they have a right to make their own choices, their own decisions about their life and how they live it, even if they're unsafe choices, even if these choices are putting them at great risk. Even if you hate these choices and you can see their situation just crumbling down around them, there just might not be anything you can do. And having some dementia does not always make them incompetent. And being late or forgetting to pay their bills a few times does not make them incompetent. Maybe in your eyes it does, but not in the eyes of the court. I think the hardest thing for adult children is this exact situation, is waiting for the other shoe to drop. It feels like you're just waiting for a crisis. You're waiting for something bad to happen. And you're probably right. It's probably going to happen. And when it does, please don't say, "I told you so." Wait until the immediate crisis is over and say something like, "In light of this situation, I'm really worried. Can I please help you come up with a plan?" Your empathy, love, and support, above all else, is what they are going to need to help them move forward when they're ready. And if you're in the situation of knowing that you can't make your parent accept help or make a change, then there is one last thing that you can do in the meantime. If you can't change a parent, you can try to change their environment, their immediate environment, to make it as safe as possible. Make sure they have everything they need, the ramps, the rails, the safety equipment. Make sure that the house, try to minimize the hazards by getting rid of the throw rugs and trip hazards, and make sure they have adequate lighting and things like that. Consider installing cameras to monitor your parents' safety if they'll let you do that. And if you worry about them wandering, then there are so many personal GPS tracking gadgets out there right now that you could put on their phone. You could put one in their purse, in their wallet, even in their shoe. These might be the only things that you're able to do right now, but at least you know you're trying to do everything that you can. I know it's scary, I know it's frustrating, and it's a very common situation for a lot of us to be going through. And don't forget that when you are older, you are also going to have the right to make whatever decisions you want about your life, and your children are not going to be able to do anything about it. And you wouldn't want them to be angry or withdraw their love or support, so don't do it to your parent. If this information was helpful, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you know other family caregivers who could benefit from this information, feel free to share this video. I really appreciate you watching today. I'll see you next time.